Okay, so if you've watched my previous video and you understand how to add negative numbers, subtracting negative numbers is going to be very easy. One thing to keep in mind is minus versus plus. Every time the minus is going to win. I'm going to show you what I mean later. Keep in mind that the minus always wins. Minus. But if we have minus versus minus, we're gonna get a plus. So let's say, for example, we have 7 minus 3. Now look at the signs. Before the 7, we have nothing, so it's a plus. Before the 3, we also have a plus. Keep in mind, this minus is for subtraction. It's not for the 3. The 3 has a plus before it. Now, let's take a look at the rule. Minus versus plus. The minus always wins. So we can write this as 7 minus versus plus. We get a minus 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. Now let's try 3 minus 7. Again, before the 3, we have nothing, so it's a plus. Before the 7, we also have a plus. And we have a minus from the subtraction. Minus versus plus is minus. So we can write this as 3 minus 7. We already know how to do this. So first, we look who's bigger, 7. We subtract 7 from 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. Then we look at the sign of the bigger number, minus. We add it to the answer. So 3 minus 7 is negative 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. How about minus 3 minus 7? This is the same thing as saying minus 3 plus minus 7. And we know how to do this. We look at the signs. We have minus and minus, so we get a minus. And then we add 7 and 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. Now let's try this one. Minus 3 minus minus 7. We go back to the rule. Negative versus negative. We get a positive. Negative versus negative, we get a positive. So we can write this as minus 3. Now instead of writing minus minus, just write plus 7. Instead of writing minus minus, we just write it as plus. And we already know how to do this. We take the bigger number, 7, minus 3 is 4. Then we look at the sign of the bigger number, and we add it to the answer. So minus 3 minus minus 7 is 4. How about 6 minus negative 5? Again, it's the same rule. Negative versus negative. is positive. So instead of writing minus minus, we can just write 6 plus 5. And this is very easy. 6 plus 5 is 11. Now let's try this one. We take it step by step. We start from the left and we go to the right. So let's start with the first two numbers. We have minus 3 plus minus 2. And we know how to do this. We have same signs. We have minus and minus, because this is addition. In addition, when we have the same signs, we get the same sign. And then we add 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So instead of writing minus 3 plus minus 2, we can just write minus 5. Now we copy the rest. So minus 5 plus 4. Again, we start from the left and we go to the right. We take the first two numbers. Minus 5 minus 5. We can just write this as minus 5 plus minus 5. It's the same thing. Again, we have same signs and we have addition. So minus and minus. In addition, we get a minus. And then 5 plus 5 is 10. So we can write this problem. Instead of writing minus 5 minus 5, we can write minus 10. And we copy the rest. Plus 4. Minus 5 plus 4, we can do this easily. We have different signs. So we take the bigger number, 10, and we subtract the smaller number, 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. Then we look at the sign of the bigger number, minus, and we add it to the answer. So minus 3, minus 2, minus 5, plus 4 is minus 6. Let's say, for example, we have minus 1 plus minus 5. The rule says plus versus minus is always minus. So plus versus minus is always minus. So we can just write it as minus 1 minus 5. So whenever you see something like this, it's the same thing as saying minus 1 plus minus 5. It doesn't matter which way you do it, but this way is faster. And also, whenever you have minus 1, let's say, for example, minus 1 minus minus 5, you can just take, instead of writing minus minus twice, the rule makes our lives easier. We can just write minus 1 plus 5. And we already know how to do this. 4. As always, I would encourage you to solve these 3 problems using these rules. And of course, leave a comment if you're stuck. And we've reached the end of the video. If you haven't watched my previous video, I would encourage you to do so. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe.